So about a year ago, I did a video looking into the Ego 56 volt 15-inch trimmer. I had already had that trimmer a while then and took time to look inside, and also took time to take the head apart to see how difficult it would be to do a different style head or aftermarket head replacement, similar to I do all my gas power weed eaters. And unfortunately in that video I showed that it was difficult. The way the shaft and the motor design was, it made it difficult to actually incorporate or change to an aftermarket head. Well, since then my head's gotten in pretty bad shape, so I actually wanted to look a little deeper. And even though one of my favorite type heads didn't work out as easy, I was able to get the Pivotrim head to work. As you'll see in the video, we had to modify the backing plate and actually cut it. I spent a little time sanding or grinding it down to make a good a disc surface, and then using the shaft and the original nut, we was able to use the Pivotrim. I cut into the base where that backing plate is, so it'll still have the cover for the motor and the fan for cooling. The disc will still be there because it wouldn't separate out like I hoped. So now I'm just grinding and trying to finish off the plate to make a good back end for the actual Pivotrim head. Just using the flapper disc or flapper wheel for the grinder, for the side grinder, to help a lot with this. I know it's not for everybody. I personally don't like winding my cord or string, but everybody's different. I know on the last video several people even asked, you know, why do you even want to change the head? But this is one reason, as one gets wore out, or it actually got where it wasn't clipping in good anymore. And just honestly, it's all a preference. You don't have any idea of when it's getting to the end, and then when it runs out on you, it's usually the most unopportune time. I mean, like the furthest I can be on my lot or something like that. So with that being said, with like the Pivotrim head, you just keep a couple short pieces with you, already pre-cut length. If you do need it, you can actually stop and slip them on. But for me, most of the time, if I just put a new piece of string on each side on that Pivotrim before I put it up and store it and charge the batteries, I'll just go ahead and put that new length of string on there, and typically it lasts me the whole yard trimmings. I also use a deburring tool around the edge. So overall, it probably took about 10, maybe 12 minutes to cut the back part of the original housing on the trimmer head. So after cutting that back plate off, leaving a little bit of extra material there, just cutting it with the Sawzall, and then taking that flapper wheel on the side grinder and just getting it really flat, makes a really good disc surface aftermarket head on, and it still gives it the motor protection it needs and the actual louvers for the actual cooling. Looks like using the original nut, it's actually going to screw right on and be a good fit. Now we get to test it out. So guys, I waited a little while for posting this video. All season I've actually used this head, and it has performed very well. I definitely won't go back. I'm going to keep the pivot head on my Ego, and I'm probably going to even look to see if eventually, once the head gets in bad shape on my power head unit string trimmer, it's made a little bit different. It's not going to be the same. I'm probably going to see what it's going to take to get the Pivotrim or similar aftermarket head on it as well. right now it's still fairly new, and I don't use it as much for weed trimming as I do just the lightweight original 15-inch trimmer that I have. So if you're having issues with your trimmer head or thinking about going with the aftermarket, I hope you found this video useful. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.